Hey, welcome back to Emotional Mojo. You know, we always want to involve you, the viewer, into our show. So today we are doing just that. We are joined by a panel of real moms to discuss a few hot topics and get their points of view. So I want to say a big welcome to Michelle Kirkland down here at the end. We have TJ Hall and we have Cece Wilk. Welcome, ladies.
Thank you.
Thank you. So before we jump into this, maybe you can tell us a little bit about your parenting role. How many kids you have, how old they are, that kind of thing. Go ahead, Michelle.
Okay, I have a daughter that's 16 and a half.
Okay. Ooh, that's fun.
A son that's 15. I'm a single mom.
Okay.
I do share custody with their father, which works out well.
All right. Good. TJ, how about you?
Well, my kids have grown up a bit. My youngest is 24.
Okay.
I have 3 girls and 6 grandkids.
Wow.
Whoa.
You don't look like a grandmother.
And Cece, how about you?
I've got 2 daughters, age 12, Emma and Chelsea, who is 14. I'm also a single mom, and I am the sole custodian parent, so I'm on my own.
All right, so between all of us, I think we can have some fun with these topics. So to kick off this discussion, we're going to start with the ever outspoken, just like us, celebrity mom, Miss Gwyneth Paltrow. Yes, she's speaking out yet again. So ladies, just a little bit of backstory here. You may remember just a few months ago, Paltrow got a ton of backlash over her comments to E! Now, she had said she plans to take a break from acting to focus on her children, which is great, but then she continued to imply that regular moms have it much easier than Hollywood mothers do, you know, being that they're stuck on a set 14 hours a day.
You understand.
So all of this backlash, now she wants to clarify. So she took to her blog and explained that what she meant was that it's easier for her and for her family to focus on being a mom as that 9-to-5 job and save movies as an exception to the rule. And here's what she added, which we kind of want to talk about this too. As the mommy wars rage on, I'm constantly perplexed and amazed by how little slack we cut each other as women. Is it not hard enough to attempt to raise children thoughtfully while contributing something or bringing home some bacon? Why do we feel so entitled? So basically she's going on and on talking about why we're always just hating on each other. We can't do it all. We can't do it all well, and there's mom wars. Yet she's at the center of it all the time.
Right.
What's your opinion on Gwyneth in general with these types of statements?
Well, out of touch.
Out of touch, that's good.
You know, I just feel like she's sheltered. She has, maybe, you know, I don't want to judge her for what she's saying, right or wrong. It's just reality check time.
But why do you think moms were so angry when this story first came out?
Because they're in touch. You know?
Okay.
Well, really, when you think about it, the mothers are saying that's not my take on life. That's not really what's going on for me.
Yeah.
Also, she was grown up like that, you know,
She
with
has
having
old
nannies
money in
and
the
having
family.
things
Yeah.
and having help. So she has never really lived a real life like us that have to struggle with the little income that we may make or what have you. So I think that's the big difference.
And honestly, maybe it's not.
And that doesn't make her bad. It's
Yeah.
it's just.
Well, and that's what I was gonna say.
That's all she knows.
It's okay, but don't act like you're the every mom. It's okay to say, I'm a celebrity, this is my lifestyle, but don't try to comment for everyone. It's almost like a class sport.
Also, if I can interject that, you know, she has the means to create a support system, a greater support system than I have, for example. I'm not making $20 million a movie. I can't hire a nanny. I can't hire a driver. I can't hire a cook. And when you have that, the means to create that support system, it's hard to compare yourself to me.
Right. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, this is something really interesting. Sex ed in the U.S. raising some eyebrows thanks to a recent Guttmacher Institute analysis. So if you think students should get an unbiased and accurate education, you probably won't be too happy about the state of sex education in America. Take a look at this stuff. So it can all be summed up with a series of maps. So this one you see here showing states that do not require sex education in red. That's a lot of states, okay? Here's another map. The red on this map represents states that do not require HIV education. This next map represents states where sex and HIV education, if provided, do not have to be medically accurate, you guys. No joke. Okay, and this next one shows the states where sex education, if provided, must include information on abstinence, but not on contraception. You talk about being out of touch. And then finally, this map shows where the sex education, if provided, must include only negative information on same-sex relationships. So we're taking a look at this and we're seeing the state of education in the U.S., and then you look, we have the highest pregnancy rate.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's up to the parents, right, to do the education, because obviously they're not going to get it at
You
school.
can't depend on the schools, though. I
Right.
mean, I have a 12-year-old and a 14-year-old, and I cannot depend on the schools to educate and tell my children about contraception
Right.
Yeah.
and about responsibility, about moral issues. I depend and I appreciate the school for their education, perhaps on
But it
contraception.
needs to be unbiased, and it needs
Right,
to
either
span
way.
all opinions. I mean, what do you guys think?
Well,
when
I-
your kids were in sex ed,
Yeah.
how was it?
I appreciated when they came out with teaching them the medical aspect of it, but I didn't want them to have any kind of an emotional or moral input, like you stated. I did, and then let me know what you're going to be informing my children.
You think we'd be better off without it in schools then altogether than
No, I
getting
like
wrong
them
information?
learning. Well,
Like the
those maps
anatomy
need to be.
part.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Those
biology.
Those maps need to be updated.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know when those maps were,
This is
based
recent.
on. Oh, that's
Yeah.
awful.
What are you thinking, Michelle?
I believe it would be good to have it in school and have a packet sent home to the parents and let them know what they're going to discuss and that they can sign off.
Before.
That actually happened when my kids were in private school for a short period up to
Really?
fifth
So
grade.
then you have an option.
And so my kids seem to think they know everything from their private school at fourth grade. I talked to them last night about this whole thing, and
Yeah.
they said they don't have that in the public school.
Okay.
So they don't know anything about public school as far as there's nothing, in public school
Yeah.
at this time, which is fine, but I believe, and being a parent, I do want to discuss with them stuff.
Yeah.
But there's plenty of parents that don't have the time, or
Or they need
they're
their
not
afraid to.
or they're
Yeah.
afraid to, or they're just not in tune and they choose not to.
So I think you're
That's
right.
why I
Maybe
think
we just need
a
to know
balance.
what's being put
We
out
need a
there.
balance. We
And
need
we
a
need
little
to
bit
step
from
up
school.
as parents, as moms. We
Yes.
need to step up.
Oh,
It's our
definitely.
responsibility.
Well, check this out. Don't judge a young person by their smartphone. Okay, you guys may think selfie trends and hashtags are taking priority in our youth, but actually they're more socially active than you might think. For the second year in a row, global advertising company TBWA Worldwide recently surveyed young adults between 20 and 28, and here are some of the results. The survey found 7 in 10 American young adults are actually social activists, meaning they donate time, money, participate through texting in rallies, meetings, fundraising activities. They subscribe to online news feeds. 3 in 5 are women. 3 in 5 are educated and in the workforce. And this next one shows a lot of stats too. 88% care about the quality of education, 80% about access to education. So basically what we're seeing is kids care. Just because they're on the phone doesn't mean they're that out of touch. Do you feel like your kids are on the right track as far as that goes? Social activism, I know
Oh, yeah.
you say your daughters.
Mine are really big into, and I have to thank our school for one thing about the when they do the community service. And, I mean, that's huge. I think
We
that,
were required in high
Yeah.
school to do
Yeah.
some
Right.
kind of
They do,
volunteering.
and so
What
am
about your
mine.
kids?
Back then it wasn't a requirement, but
Yeah.
they wanted to be involved. I mean, there are people too. They want to be involved. The more their voice is heard, though, too, that that they'll know what's going on in the world.
Yeah.
So I agree, though. My kids were really involved with certain things that they, with English or with, the wars and things like
Yeah.
that at that time. But I
I
think
think it's just about reaching them on their level.
Of what their
If
interests
they
are,
like
too.
phones and social
Right.
media, maybe that's the kind of activism we get them involved with.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Reach them where they are.
Yeah.
Right?
You ladies are awesome. Thank you so
Thank
much
you.
for joining
Thank
us,
you.
our Real Mom
Thank you.
panel. We'll give them a hand. Don't go anywhere, you guys. We got a lot more inspiration coming up. A restaurant patron took Teacher Appreciation Week to a whole new level. Get ready to be inspired with that. And Breaking Bad's Walter White has recently become a matchmaker. We will explain. Don't go anywhere. You're watching Emotional Mojo.